Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. In the last part, we got the Ocarina of Time itself after getting the Zora Sapphire, and now we're technically supposed to head over to the Temple of Time to continue with plot, but there's one last cutscene we can do right now, or one last side quest we can do right now, before continuing on with that. Welcome to the Happy Mask Shop. Hi! Welcome to the Happy Mask Shop. We deal in masks that bring happiness to everyone. How would you like to be a happiness salesman? I'll lend you a mask, you sell the mask, and bring the money back here. If you want to read the fine print, take a look at the sign right over there. After you've sold all the masks, you'll become happy yourself. Have faith. And now we can buy this Keaton mask for 10 rupees. We borrowed a Keaton mask. Wear it with C to show it off. You'll be a popular guy with this mask on. Alright, so the purpose of this particular side quest is to get a mask here at the mask shop, take it to a person that needs it, and they'll buy it off of you, usually for more money than you paid for it, so you can get some profits off of this. There are 4 masks you have to do this with, and their locations get more and more difficult to reach, or at least to give them to. The only reason I'm doing this side quest now is that you can't give the final mask out until after you've completed Jabu-Jabu's belly. And now, we might remember, all the way back before we first accessed Death Mountain, this guard said he was looking for something. Put the mask on with C and talk with him. Do you think you're in disguise, Mr. Hero? Oh? Is that a something character mask? I hear it's very popular recently. He's my boy's favorite. That something mask, if you don't mind. Will you sell it to me? Sure. My boy will be very happy with this. You really are, Mr. Hero. We sold a 10 rupee mask for 15 rupees. We earned a little profit. Let's go to the mask shop and pay back the mask price of 10 rupees. Now, unless you're paying attention and talking to everyone beforehand, finding out what mask goes where can be a bit of trial and error, but if you talk to everyone, you can eventually pick up where each mask goes. At least for the first few. The first 3 you can do that with. You can't do that with the 4th one. For instance, now we got the skull mask, and this thing looks relatively terrifying. For this mask, we need to head over to the Lost Woods. As you might recall, when we were there getting Saria's song, maybe that was like, what, part 6? That there was someone there who lamented about their own face in some regards. In particular, we want to head to the Skull Kid that's to the west of the entrance. However, before you do that, I recommend you take this little side path deeper into the Lost Woods. Why? You might remember in the little forest grove where there's a soft soil patch that I planted. Actually, no, I haven't planted a bean there yet. I think I'm going to be doing that later this very part. That there was a hole you could fall into in this bush that I didn't mention that what you could do in yet. That is our goal here. Well, I guess our secondary goal, technically. You can do this after you finish the side quest. It's just more convenient to do it all at once, since otherwise you'll be grabbing a different mask and backtracking all the way back here, and I don't find any interest in doing that. Welcome to the forest stage. We're waiting to see your beautiful face. Come up for prizes. I'm uncomfortable. Get away from me. Get away. Now, you are all particularly adorable. I'm surprised they actually never made statues of these kind of things. Mind you, this is the last time we ever see Deku Scrubs to look exactly like this, I think. I don't recall any of the ones in Majora looking like this. All of the young Deku Scrubs brothers agree. You look exactly like our sacred totem. As an offering from us, please accept these Deku Sticks. We'll also enhance your carrying skills. Abracadabra! Alakazam! And for doing that, we get to carry up to a new amount of Deku Sticks. I believe this is the maximum amount you can carry from the top of my head. I don't recall there being another capacity upgrade, but honestly, I forget because sometimes I forget what I said 5 minutes ago. Alright, now we want to head for the Skull Kid just west of the Lost Woods entrance. This is the precise one we played Saria's song for on our Ocarina to get a piece of heart back in part 6 or whatever. Somewhere around there. And the only reason you know to do this is if you talk to him beforehand, he mentions, yeah, my face is a little strange. You got anything to make it a bit different? And this mask is exactly what he's looking for. Under that mask, aren't you that Kokiri kid? Quite an unusual mask you have there. I like it. It may maybe look a little bit tougher. Hey, why don't you give it to me? Sure. Yowza! I'm gonna wear this all the time. He just gave you 10 rupees for this 20 rupee mask. We lost money on that deal. Go back to the mask shop and pay 20 rupees for the mask. The difference will have to come out of our own wallet. And we will never see that Skull Kid again. Totally never. Not in the sequel at all. Now, if you do want to read the fine print on the sign to the left, I think the 3DS version even requires you to do it. You can learn some of the more specifics, but it's exactly as you see. You get a mask, you pay for it, you then take it to someone, and they pay you for it, and hopefully you'll make a profit. You generally actually don't. But now we have the spooky mask. You can scare many people with this mask. Now, if you talk to any NPC with any mask, they generally have a response for that mask. Sometimes they're shared between the masks. Like, I think the final mask we get out of all this and the spooky mask share some dialogue responses. But ultimately, it's just flavor text, so you can waste your time going from NPC to NPC trying to find the person who needs it, in the case you'd ever talked to them beforehand and got the little hint they wanted. And now you might remember someone lamented their face being too cute here in the graveyard. This little kid. Yeah, it's Dumpy the Gravekeeper. Oh, it's just a mask. I get a different kind of fright from that mask than I get from Dumpy. Will you give that mask to me? Sure. With this mask, I'll be just like Dumpy. Here's my money. We sold the 30 rupee mask to a kid for full price, and he didn't mind paying at all. Let's go back to the mask shop to pay 30 rupees for the mask. We can get the new mask model too. With that, though, that's the end of the ones that we have hints for. The final mask is approached radically differently. Oh, great. You sold it. Please pay me back 30 rupees for the spooky mask now. Payment received. This is the bunny hood. Wear it with C to show it off. The hood's long ears are so cute. And now, unfortunately, unlike the sequel, this mask does not increase your running speed. I remember there being theories that there are ways to access that code in this game. Back because Ocarina of Time was one of those, yo, if you play this game on Tuesday with your toaster on, you can get the Triforce sort of things. But no, that's not a thing. Although that does remind me, the Triforce was originally going to be a usable item in this game. It was going to be a screen nuke of sorts from what we're aware. And you can apparently access the item's graphics in the code, and even put it to your menus, but it does nothing. With that, though, we're back here in Zora's River because I want to talk to the bean salesman. I bought 5 beans last time, and I have over 200 rupees, so I can buy at least 3 more, 4 more, somewhere abouts there. And this is the best point to do it, as the reward, or at least the amount that the next person is going to pay for their mask, is going to take care of the rest of our money needs for getting beans, without a doubt. With that said, the next person we need to deliver the mask to, this bunny hood, only spawns, I believe, after you've done Jabu-Jabu's belly. And they're not in any town, or even one of the unique areas. They are running around Hyrule Field itself. We're looking for an NPC known as the Running Man. During the day, he is constantly running in a circle. Generally speaking, if you look at the map, and you see the road that goes around Lon Lon Ranch, towards the center of the map, he follows that, but does break him in a few times, so if you just go in a circle generally around Lon Lon Ranch, you might be able to see him. But you need to talk to him at night, because that's the only time where he's standing still. He's resting on the ground. This, for new players, is probably one of the most annoying side quests in the game, just because you have to search for him like so hard, but if you know the pathway, it's nothing too bad. With that said, this side quest is relatively long, even though this part's just under 20 minutes. In editing this, or at least in recording, this was a 40-minute session, so I edited out about 20 minutes worth of backtracking from area to area, place to place. Not only just to find these masks, but as we'll see later, to also plant the magic beans I can thus far. you're wondering why I'm going off the path here, this is one of the points where he goes off the map. He generally goes up and then rounds that tree over there and then heads back towards Lon Lon Ranch. And then I think the fences are coming up around this next curve. He then curves around that. His path is weird, but as long as you keep yourself close to Lon Lon Ranch and look out around it, you should be able to find him. He doesn't... It's weird. He doesn't stand out during the night, but during the day, when he's running, he does have such a noticeable movement pattern that you can easily see him. And there he is right there, and I actually need to hurry, because if I don't get there before the Cocoa Crows, I can't give this mask to shit. And now I can't talk to him, so I need to wait for nighttime. Or you can play the Sun Song. I'm just gonna tell you outright, just play the Sun Song, because while day is 2 minutes and 30 seconds, that's 2 minutes and 30 seconds of waiting. Not to mention, I'm actually not certain of how long it takes him to make a lap through his route around Hyrule Field. It could take 2 minutes, it could take 3, I don't know. His movement speed is about equivalent, I want to say, to Link's running speed. No, maybe he's a little slower. Yeah, he's definitely a little slower. Also, don't mind the P-hats, they're just kind of there. Such a strange boost to such an odd enemy. They got big P-hats and they can spat out babies. Never would have seen that coming from the Super Nintendo days. Or NES days, for that matter. Alright, now that it's nighttime, hopefully he should lay down. Come on. Come on. Do it. I want to say he only sits down in a specific actual, hour. I bet with those long ears you can hear the voices. Oh, these are genuine rabbit ears from the animal of legend. I don't care how expensive it is. Please sell it to me. Sure. My long-time dream, returning to the wildlife. Finally, the actor, stage, and prop have been united. It's a 50 rupee mask, but he paid you a crazy amount of money for it. More money than you can count. Go back to the mask shop and pay back just 50 rupees of this money. He pays you enough to fill whatever wallet you have, even the giant's wallet. So, that probably means he pays like 501 rupees total. This is an absurd amount of money, and it's why I spent some money back at the bean shop right now, since then I would actually be able to get as much money as I could out of this. With that said, though, I believe I'm not immediately jump cutting back to the Happy Mask shop. I believe I'm jump cutting back to the bean shop dude, because I do want to buy those last couple of beans. There are 10 beans in total, as I brought up back when we were first meeting this guy, so make sure you grab them all. And as I mentioned back then, the maximum amount of, the amount for all the beans together that you need is 550 rupees, when you can only carry a max of 500 with the best wallet. Kinda mean that they do that, but at the same time, it's not hard to get money in this game. Just by going around the various bushes in Hyrule Field, you can probably get some money. You can definitely get bombs doing that. Or you could go to any of the rupee chests I haven't opened yet, like those 2 20 rupee chests over in Goron City in the northwestern room. And that's all 10 beans. Don't eat them in a theater. With that, now I believe we're going to jump cut back to the Happy Mask shop, as we've done more or less everything we can at this point in the game. Technically. There is still the magic beans to plant, and I think there might be one other heart piece or Skulltula I can get right now, but I'm going to save for later, I think. Oh, great, you sold it. Please pay me back 50 rupees for the bunny hood now. Oh, yes. Very well done. All the masks are sold out. I knew I could trust you. As a reward, I will lend you this special mask. This is the Mask of Truth. It is a mysterious mask passed down by the Sheikah. With this mask, you can see into other people's minds. It's useful, but scary. Why is it scary? You may find out as you grow older and discover the true meaning of life. And we get the Mask of Truth. Wear it with C to show it off. Show it to many people. From now on, you can borrow any mask you want. Just have faith. And he does notably have 3 other masks you can rent. A Zora mask, a Goron mask, and a Gerudo mask. However, for the former 2 especially, they are not transformation masks like they would be in the sequel. They're just aesthetic masks that if you talk to people, they'll give reactions usually relegated to that race. I'm not sure, honestly, what happens if you talk to particular characters with it, because I've never tried. Now, the Mask of Truth is supposedly able to read minds, and I do believe there are some NPCs that when you talk to them with it, it does kind of show you their inner thoughts, so to speak, instead of their normal dialogue. But it's not that worth it. Honestly, the Mask of Truth is only worth it for one thing, technically two, and that's back in the Lost Woods, rather. The forest stage will have something else for us if we wear the Mask of Truth inside of it. Technically speaking, it's good for one other purpose, but I'll go over that in a moment. That's about how I look at math equations. What's up, guys? You're not as hyped as you were last time.
All my young Deku Scrub brothers say, you have a horrible face! But don't worry, we will reward you with many Deku Nuts. Of course, we will also enable you to carry more of them. Abracadabra, Alakazam!
And we get a Deku Nut upgrade. This is the max one, I believe, at 40. Also, rude, my face isn't that bad. Is it? With that, now it's time for us to go around and plant the other magic beans. Now, the other purpose the Mask of Truth has is the Gossip Stones. You've seen across Hyrule without a doubt at this point, sometimes in dungeons, I think. All over the place, in Hyrule Field, the towns. You've seen them. If you talk to them while wearing the Mask of Truth, they will give you various hints for the game. Like, we've heard that if you do this here, this might happen, or there's a secret somewhere located around here. Stuff that's very helpful for newcomers, but if you've played the game front and back more times than you can count like I have, it's not too useful. Honestly, there have been times where I've skipped doing that side quest in particular, just because it's such a long process for so little returns. As moving forward, Deku Sticks even aren't going to be too useful. Deku Nuts have some use, but it's more sparing. If you just have the first level upgrades for each item, you're more or less going to be fine. But now I am going all over the world to plant the magic beans. This took another maybe 10 minutes or so, but it's going to help you out later on more often than not, at least. Though for some cases, I've already grabbed some of the items that these magic beans will lead you to. More on that later. Yeet! Alright, back in Castletown. This is finally time for us to head to the Temple of Time. Brief distraction, admittedly, at least for video's sake, but I did want to get that out of the way now so I didn't have to interrupt more of a flow later on. And these are Sheikah Stone, or Gossip Stone, so let's check out the Mask of Truth and see what this one has to say. Responding to your mask, this strange stone statue talks to you. I overheard this. They say that it is against the rules to use glasses at the treasure chest shop in Hyrule Castletown Market. That's another minigame I haven't shown off yet because, honestly, you can do it now, but your chances are very low of winning, at least. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 14, we enter the Temple of Time and see what awaits us inside. See you guys then.